the intelligent design behind God. You know, a lot of people don't really think of this type of stuff, but I'm outside of the box and I'm seeing things that most people don't see. And I'm thinking things right now that most people don't ever think. Now, man was created by God. This is the great achievement in the universe of man. But man is created, right? And in order for a man to give off life, he has to have relations with a woman, right? Now this woman incubates that seed for a time, a gestation period, right? So now think about what sperm is said to look like. Now, I posted a picture today on Facebook. It really tripped me out a little bit when I seen the brain and the vertebrae and your backbones and the nervous system that is created off of that thing that is right there, right? Your backbone, the nervous system and all that's connected to your legs, your arms, your stomach. Everything is connected to that brain stem, to the brain, right? Now, those little things that you just seen in that looks exactly like the brain and the stem. Whew. Now, what is created to put around that is from the woman. This is why man and women are equal. Because we are the same within, but we are different without to bring forth life, which makes us one that makes one. People don't think of these things. It's intelligent design. It's not just Big Bang and then God or whatever just created this everything so crazily. Trees, branches, grass, mulch, cars. This is intelligent design from one designer. Because our gifts come from above. How did all this be created from just a big bang? A big bang. See, people always talking about telekinesis and brain, mind reading and stuff like that. But if you were just that brain and stem going around, how would you know what the other is saying? How would you know without a mouth, without eyes, without facial expressions, without arms, what the other one is gesturing towards you? This is intelligent design. How did it come from a big bang? Had to come from something. See, this is I think outside the box, because the box is an amazing box. And when you live inside of it, you're being controlled by the rest. But when you're living on the outside, and when I say you're living on the outside, you're seeing things from God's perspective on the universe and the world. Right? Skin color, facial recognition. Facial recognition is me recognizing someone else's face. That's me. All this intelligent design. How could it have come from a big bang? You're talking about sperm that grows into a man or a woman that walks, eats, breathes, that's connected to that one thing that never disappears. They say it does, but it grows with the flesh of the mother around that seed. It's genetic markers that they call it. But these are things that may as well be real, because you can see the trace of the son and the mother and the father in the. I have a babble mouth. I apologize, you guys. But you can see these things. You see the facial expression of someone when they're mad. That's mind reading. You see the facial expression of someone when they're happy and know what these general feelings are and what they mean and how they feel when you go through them. That's what makes you happy when they're happy, because you remember that time. We are intelligent design. And to look outside of being able to walk and do all these phenomenal things, why do we need to fly or be invisible or run through walls or have heat vision eyes when the design of us is an amazing thing in itself? And then to relish in that design is to give yourself godlike qualities, mentality, thought process. See, knowing that I'm an Israelite doesn't give me a religious view of the world. It gives me a unique view of the world. And I think if somebody doesn't have the mental faculties or the knowledge to overcome the world and see the world for what it is, they can't accept that there's roles that needs to be played on the earth. And there's genetic markers for these things. Whether the earth is round or flat, who knows? But these things show you that great design. So, being an Israelite and understanding the Creator's mindset, agenda, plans, it makes you a little bit different. I mean, yes, there could be very, very many variations of what the truth is according to the Bible, but there's a core to it, and that core is these select people are my inheritors, and in order for them to take part in that journey, they have to recognize and atone and repent for what they've done in their ignorance and absence from greatness. And that's why I believe the news, the radio, the TV, anything that is an entertainment thing, and they telling themselves a lot, man. They telling themselves a lot, but everything that's not into entertainment, or that is entertainment, controls the mind and senses and the mental construct of one or people or other people's, right? Now, when I was driving around today, the idea of white radio, black radio, white TV, black TV, right? That's what came to mind. And the idea of propaganda and thought-provoking images that changes one's mind or puts ideas in one's head to do or to follow through it or to live through as their life goes is these mediums. Magazines, radio, TV, movies. They encapsulate your mind and induct you into a learning that you would get from your parents and the people in your community. That's what TV, movies, and all these things do. Because we, as kids, we don't learn by reading and all that stuff. That's when we start learning by reading once we become an adult. As a kid, we observe. We observe things, and that's how we learn, by touch, sound, feeling, and what is around us. That's how we learn as kids. But as adult, you learn by reading and intaking this information. I'm not saying you're not supposed to learn how to read up until you become an adult, but you learn through seeing. So if you see your parents selling drugs, you're going to sell drugs. You see your parents as a lawyer, you're going to want to become something good as them, or better. I mean, yes, there's definitely, differences, and there's kids that don't always follow in the path of the parents. But the overwhelming thing is that your path is set out by parenting, by what you see your parents do. You see them clean, you clean. You see them don't clean, you don't clean. You see them take care of the car, you take care of the car. They don't, you don't. Mimic until we become older and we're able to form an idea, a thought plan, a process. Yes, it happens for some earlier, or they get lucky, or they get used without knowing. See, this is one thing that's wrong with black people. We think one is mutually exclusive to the other.